Welcome back, you lovely people, to another video. Today we're in the race 1600 and this is going to be my greatest 1v1 battle in iRacing to date, and we're on our road to 2K in Formula Car. So we're about to go green here, guys, momentarily. We qualified P5 here at Navarra in the race 1600s. Lights go green and we're off. A couple of cars out in front of us go defensive immediately. And we're watching those guys see if there's any accidents coming up into turn 1. We get a decent launch, not really under pressure from the cars behind. Checking over our shoulder just in case somebody did slip up the inside. Watching the blue and the purple car, they collide momentarily, just a little bit, nothing crazy. But we did back out of it into turn 1, just watching it and making sure we didn't get involved in an accident. Coming around turn number 1, everyone keeps it pretty clean, so we're happy with that. And we're going to come down the back section now. Probably a little too far behind the group in front of us to be thinking about a move into the hairpin coming up, but we're watching a mirror with the yellow car behind. He is right behind us and he's thinking about a move, and you can see now he pops out to our right. He's going to start slotting down our inside, and then he's going to touch us. Bang! And over the top goes an orange car, and I just absolutely lost it. Checking the replay here, you're going to see the orange car lunges from far too back. We got a massive netcode there, and I don't know how I survived that one. Checking with the spotter, you can see there's no damage, and I audibly burst out laughing. I was laughing so hard coming into this final corner. I nearly ran to the back of the kind of Apple logoed car. I don't know how I did not have any damage after that incident, but we survived. We've lost a few places thanks to that and being pushed out wide, but we survived and we can continue to fight another day. Right behind this Apple logo car, we got a bit of a slipstream coming up into turn 1. We're going to go up the inside, brake as late as we dare. Still a little bit cold tires, so just being a bit cautious. Car spins out in front of us. We're going to keep it tight, avoid that guy. Apple logo car behind us goes into him, and we get a bit of breathing room behind. We're concentrating on Rodrigo now, up in front, the yellow and black car, who is going to be our nemesis for this race. Some very, very good dueling and some very, very good battling to come up with this guy. Coming into the hairpin now, we're right behind Rodrigo. Get a little bit of an oversteer. Car behind us gets more than we did, and he slips out and spins out. But we keep it together, and we're still in the fight for this one. Coming into the final corner, the group in front of us is... As we come down the main straight ourselves, we're going to be thinking about a move also into turn number 1 against Rodrigo, and seeing if we can maximize our speed advantage with the slipstream. We're tucking in behind him. We're less than a half a second behind him, but we're not gaining too much. He probably got a better drive out of the last corner, but we're catching now as we're coming up to turn number 1. Think about a move, but I kind of get a bit of an oversteer moment, catch the car and just about keep it together and just about avoid running into the back of Rodrigo. We're right on his tail now, coming down the back straight, thinking about a move into the kind of right hand hairpin coming up after this back section, trying to get as much speed as we can through that left hander and that kink. You can go flat out through that corner. So we're now up the inside of Rodrigo, keeping him tight, pinning him out on the outside. Tuck onto the apex, carry as much speed out as possible. I noticed he was behind us early on in the corner, so I ran as wide as possible to kind of block off any kind of momentum he would have. Keeping it tight now on the inside for this right-hander. A couple of cars spin out in front of us, collide with one another. That gifts us 3 positions, but it leaves us vulnerable to Rodrigo behind. We did not get a great run out of the last corner. We're checking our shoulder, checking over on the right side here, as you can see, checking to see where he is and how much he's gaining on us. He is on the inside coming up into turn 1, and I'm going to think a little better of it and back out and just brake a little early. There's going to be plenty of opportunities to get past later on in the lap like we did earlier, so just keeping it nice and tidy through turn number 1. Did not want to spin out and ruin all that good luck on the last corner. We have opportunities to fight Rodrigo, and this is where the battle really starts to begin. So we're right nose to tail now. He's keeping a defensive line. We're going to see if we can hang it around the outside, checking up to see where he is in VR, braking as late as we dare. He brakes a little bit later, so we're going to go for the switchback if we can. You know, do good switchback, but it's not going to be enough. He's got the inside line for the left-hander. See if we can go around the outside here. Just keep him pinned tight. Coming into the last corner, brake as late as we dare, but he brakes later than us. He gives us plenty of space. We tip the apex, and we're down back now down the main straight. So, a little bit of battling. I'm checking the relative here just to be safe. I'm worried that this battling and all this fighting with Rodrigo may result in the cars behind us catching, so I'm keeping one eye on Rodrigo, coming up into turn number 1, keeping an eye on the cars behind, seeing how this kind of fighting and battling and with Rodrigo is affecting our time to the cars behind. It's currently 2.3 seconds. We didn't really have a move. He cut it off on turn number 1, but we're now trying to keep as close as we can to see if we can have a move into the hairpin again. Coming through the kink once again, flat out, as fast as we dare. We're tucking in. I was thinking about going down the right side, thinking about the left side. Got caught in kind of two minds and did not want to run into him. He runs a little deep, which allows us to go side by side again. I was a little worried with these cars. Sometimes they're a bit squirrely under the brakes, and I didn't want to run into the back of them, so I pulled out on the hairpin. Again, thought about a move here, but it might be a risky one. Just was thinking, you know, no point in passing him here and then allowing him slipstream down into turn 1 if we can avoid it. So, right, tucked up behind him, as much slipstream as we dare, pull out as late as possible, and we get a move done pretty early into turn 1, so that's the move done for now. But, keeping an eye on our mirrors, the car's a little bit squirrely under the brakes. We track out as wide as we can without spinning and get on the apex once again. Coming down now towards this back section, down towards the hairpin once again. I'm watching my mirrors. He's right behind us. We haven't really lost much time to Justin and the other Rodrigo behind, so happy with that. We can continue to fight, keeping a defensive line on the right, forcing him to go around the outside. I'm going to brake as late as I dare. He brakes later than I do. He was more confident in the brakes into this corner. I clip the apex, run wide, thinking he was going to be further alongside than he was, so I gave him plenty of space. Probably could have tracked out further there. Giving him space on the left side. Going to brake into the final corner again. He's going to try go for a later apex. I keep it tight because I knew he was alongside. Bit better. We were alongside this time than right behind into the last corner, but it has netted basically the same result. But we are losing a little bit of time now to Justin and Rodrigo behind. It's now 1.6 and 1.7, and I'm starting to get a bit worried here. I was thinking about trying to signal some way. I don't use voice, so trying to signal some way to Rodrigo in front that let's just move, you know, let's try and keep a gap between us and the cars behind. But I'm starting to see the relative now has dropped down to above 2 seconds as they're fighting into turn number 1 again. So thinking about a move now again, I see in the relative it's over 2 seconds, so coming through the kink again, we got a bit more speed this time. Going to force the issue. He was thinking about going defensive, but I had enough momentum to get alongside him. Still braking far too early, and that's something I was starting to learn. Almost touch here going through, give plenty of space, or not plenty of space, but it's a little tight, but it was just enough space that we did not collide. Again, Rodrigo has kept the gap. He has kept the position. We're coming back onto the start-finish straight again, seeing if we can get the move done this time into turn 1 and hold it this time. Lap number 7 in the bag. We're coming up to lap number 8. The fastest lap was just done by the leader, 105. He was really fast in this race, and there was no way we were catching him. I did a 105.8 there, which was a decent lap time. This is my first time in the race for a few months, so I was happy with doing the 105s and happy to be fighting with Rodrigo. We get a decent move done. He's a little further back this time, but the slipstream is quite powerful in these cars, so he's going to be on our tail towards the end of this straight. That isn't really straight. But coming down to the hairpin again, I'm keeping defensive, and then I'm kind of thinking about going onto the racing line, but I didn't want to be kind of accused of blocking, so I didn't really commit to the racing line. Didn't really carry enough speed through that hairpin. He's now kind of alongside us. I'm giving him some space. Clip the left-hander here into the final corner, and he doesn't get any kind of alongside us. He doesn't really go for the move. He's probably thinking what I was thinking previously, which is take the slipstream down into turn number 1. I'm checking the relative again. You know, the time behind from us and the cars behind is okay. It's manageable. Right now they're about 3 seconds, so it is increasing. He has the slipstream again down into turn number 1, so the roles are reversed this time. He was going past me into turn 1 instead of me going past him in turn number 1. So he gets the move done. This is really, really close fighting. It's very respectful. I had a lot of fun racing Rodrigo here. These past few laps have proven that we can race side by side and not have an accident. It's very respectful. You see on a couple of the corners where I have essentially given him enough room on exit. He's given me enough room on entry. So as we go side by side here again, you see he's going to give me enough room on the apex. I'm going to cut a tight line, giving him plenty of room on the outside so that we don't collide. It does compromise me and compromise my exit, but I'd rather continue this fight and stay in the race than to collide and have the cars behind us go past us quite easily. So that's all it would take, is just a little bit of a clip and a little bit of a spin, or to run wide and the cars behind us will be right on our tail. Even though the gap is increasing right now, we are faster than them. The leader does a sub 105 lap time, and that's just a really fast time. I do a 106.3, which is a little slow, but that was probably because of the fighting between ourselves and Rodrigo. Did not really have the momentum to catch up to him into turn number 1, but that's okay. There's plenty of opportunities. We're going to try back into the hairpin again. There's about 2, maybe 3 places where you can overtake. One is into turn number 1. The second one is into this hairpin coming up, and then the third one is into the last corner. The last corner is a risky move, and you need a little bit of compliance from the driver in front to make that one stick. He's gone on the racing line. I'm a little too far back to make this move work, but at this point there's only about a lap or 2 left, so I need to try and think about really sending one and really sticking one up the inside and making it work. I would rather pass him on the hairpin than pass him into turn number 1. So as we come up to finish lap number 10 and start the final lap of the race, you're going to see he's swerving, he's trying to break the toe. I'm trying to keep behind him as best I can, get as much momentum, get as much slipstream. He's trying to break the toe, but I'm doing it, I would like to think, a fairly decent job of keeping behind him. Lap time there was a 105.6, my fastest lap of the race, and what perfect time to do it, just to be right behind Rodrigo. Coming into turn number 1, I'm not really too keen here. I want to do it in the hairpin. That's the best opportunity on the last lap to do it, because it gives him very little chance to get back. If I did it into turn number 1, he'd have the run on me into the hairpin. So coming through this final kind of kink on the back straight, final lap, he's going defensive. He's really keeping a tight line, and I'm going on the racing line on the left. Probably should have pinned him more tighter here. He brakes later than I do. Go for the switchback here. Doesn't quite work out. He has enough momentum. Final opportunity is into the last corner. I have to make it stick though. Final roll of the dice coming up into the final corner. I'm going to send it up as late as I can. Clip the apex. Curb pushes me out wide a little bit. Forces him off the track. He gave us plenty of space on the apex. We're coming down towards the line, but bunch of bumping, wheel banging going on. At the time I was thinking about lifting out of the throttle and giving him second place because I forced him off the track, but it felt like intentional bumping there. As you can see from the replay, clipped the curb a little bit too much, forces him off the track. He's going to come back on the track here, and it's clearly not intentional bumping, it's just netcode. So we're going to go to the results and see where we finished, and to see if I was right to keep my foot in it. As we go to the results, it is third place. I lost out in second place by 2 1/1000ths of a second, and I actually feel better about that. Checking the replay after the race, I was glad I did not get second, because I would have been I would have felt bad about that one. Keeping my foot in it and forcing him off the track for second, I would have felt bad. So I'm glad he got second there, and we gained a bunch of iRating, coming ever so closer to our goal of 2K in Formula Car. We did get it previously, as I mentioned, and we dropped down from a few races. So we're trying to get back up there. Safety rating pretty much stays the same. But as I said, guys, if you liked this video, give it a like. If you have any comments on the racing, it was probably one of my best and most fun races I've had in iRacing. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment down below. And I hope to see you in the next one. If you want to see more videos, click the subscribe button. I hope you stick around for some more.